We were just talking about now in the what we learned about the mistake of the King Saul that brought about the tragedy, the impending tragedy of Purim. The King Saul did not kill Agag, the king of the Amalekites, immediately. He brought him back in a cage to show the Jewish people, to shame him, and to show the Jewish people the victory of the Jewish. And he thought that was the best thing. And he also was supposed to have killed all the sheep and the cows on the field of the Amalekites, but he didn't. He brought them back for sacrifices. So because he did this and he did it with the best reasons, but because he went totally according to his reason, he did not devote himself simply to what God said. So he was punished, and that comes Amalek. And similar to us, all of the anti-Semitism in the world now comes when the Jews use their minds too much, or let's say solely. They use their mind. How do you say? What's the word for it? Alone. They don't use the essence of their soul. The essence of the Jewish soul is to do what God wants simply without understanding. And then you should try to understand everything also, because that's also a commandment. But the basis of it is I'm doing what God wants. Okay, here's the story. One of the most important commandments in Judaism is the sounding of the shofar. The sounding of the shofar, in many ways, that's the first commandment of the year. First commandment of the year. And I'm sure you all know the story that the first Rebbe of Chabad, he sounded the shofar, and that determined that Napoleon was going to lose, because it has tremendous spiritual effects. So the Baal Shem Tov once took one of his pupils, I think it was Reb Zev Kitzis, but I'm not sure. And his pupil was a tremendous Kabbalist, a tremendous genius. He knew the whole Torah. He was a very, how do you say, genuine person, emotional person. And he said, this Rosh Hashanah, you sound the shofar. So the pupil prepared, and he learned all the Kabbalistic ideas and what you're supposed to think when you sing the Shivorim and the Tru and the Tekiah. And in each section, there's tremendously deep intentions and Kabbalistic connections that are made with every single sound that you sound in the shofar. It says you're supposed to sound altogether like 30 sounds. So each one of them has its own meaning. 100 sounds you're supposed to. Okay, so he wrote everything down so he wouldn't forget anything. And he wrote everything down, and he took it to the synagogue, and he put it under the covering of the table where you stand up on the podium, which is in the middle, and then there's the table where you read the Torah, and there's a covering over there. So he put it under the covering. Anyway, so he comes, the big day comes, Rosh Hashanah, and of course he has prepared himself, and he has fasted. We don't eat anything before sounding the shofar. And he's thinking in his mind all these deep, intense thoughts, and he's deeply, deeply intense. And he stands up with the shofar, and everyone is watching, on the whole congregation. And he goes for and he takes out the paper, and either the paper was removed by the janitor that he didn't know that he was supposed to, or it was a blank piece of paper. He put it there by mistake. Whatever it was, the paper wasn't there. And all of his intentions were not there. So he sort of tried to remember, and it's okay. You take a little bit of time before sounding the shofar. It's a normal thing. So he's trying to remember, and he can't remember exactly what it was. Now, to make mistakes and to have the wrong intention, that could have disastrous effects, especially by holy people like him. Like I said, that the first Rebbe of Chabad, he brought about the defeat of Napoleon by sounding the shofar. So you see, the shofar has tremendous, tremendous effects. It says it coronates God and it determines the whole blessing for the whole year. So he's standing there with the shofar. He doesn't know what to do, and he's sweating. He says, "What am I going to do? I can't remember exactly what to do." So he sounded the shofar. He was brokenhearted. What's he going to do? Go down from the? He says, "Listen, I can't do it. No one else prepared at all." And the Baal Shem Tov said he had to do it. So he was really stuck. He was really, really stuck. He didn't know exactly what to think. On the other hand, he couldn't not sound the shofar at all. So with a totally broken heart, he just sounded the shofar. It was a commandment to sound the shofar. The Baal Shem Tov told me I have to do it. I'm the one that has to do it. So he sounded the shofar and he said, "Talk to God, God forgive me, help the Jewish people." Sounded the shofar. After he finished, so of course he was weeping, and he came off he said, wanted to come to the Baal Shem Tov and say, "I'm sorry, excuse me." And the Baal Shem Tov said, "That was the best shofar sounding I have ever heard in my whole life. Never heard such." He said it with a truly broken heart, and he did it only because God said it's a commandment to do. So sometimes the intentions and genius and talent and religion can get in your way. That's why it says on Purim, you should get so drunk that you don't know the difference between Haman is bad and Mordechai is good. Logically, you don't know, but in the essence of your soul, you feel certain that God wants Mordechai and doesn't want Haman. No logic behind it. That's the essence of what a Jew is. That's the word Yehudi, totally surrendered to the essence of God. So therefore, the sounding of his shofar, he said, that was the best I ever heard in my life. Have a good day, a good Shabbos with Mashiach. Now see you, God willing, on Sunday at 8 o'clock in the morning.